good. So, how's Pam? I had a busy weekend.
Did you? Good for
I
you.
did. Yeah. I mean, it's like, wow, spring market. What the heck? What happened?
I had one of my quieter ones.
Really? Well, yeah, you always say that you always are the reverse of everybody else. I don't know that I'm.
I don't know that I'm always reverse, but it never seems to follow the trend. You know, it's
Yeah.
not necessarily a reverse trend. It just doesn't, it just rarely follows, what everybody else is
Well,
doing.
I don't know. I think yeah, I guess if you take us as an individual case by case basis, I'm not
It's pretty
sure.
microcosmic. Yeah.
Right, right. Yeah. So I don't know, but it just seems like the stars align and somebody turns on the faucet and we go from being like wondering what we're gonna do to put food on the table next month to what the heck? What happened? I did you see that email one of our colleagues sent out over the weekend? His I guess his wife and kids are gone on spring break and he stayed home to work, and he says it's a little bit like The Shining around here. Does anybody have anything for me to do? Here's
I
Johnny.
thought you really liked that one.
What?
Oh, you really like that one.
Yeah, I did really like that one. Here's Johnny.
That took me a while. I was like, what is she talking about?
Oh, you don't remember the movie?
I said it took me a while to figure out what you're, when I was like, who's Johnny?
Oh.
The whole
Anyway,
Shining part didn't really register with me for a while, but
the shining part. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, so obviously he's not busy, right? I thought that was really cute, but
a lot of it, I think this has to do with what you've currently got on the market right now, what those
mhm.
are, and if they're high activity properties or not. And, even if you've got a lot of listings, like what's under contract, versus what's available or what's incoming soon and all of that sort of stuff. So it just depends, I
Well,
mean,
it's really interesting. I've got I have that condo I mentioned last week on Edgewater that we have on the private exclusives. I'm waiting for the pictures and the floor plan to come back. The photographer was there on Friday, and I'm waiting for the photos to come back. In the meantime, I put it on private exclusives, which you and I have discussed a few times on our calls, and um, I actually had a Compass colleague, because when you put it on private exclusives, it only goes out to Compass. It doesn't, you're not allowed to put it on Facebook or put a for sale sign or anything until you put it in the private into the MLS on the private listing network. You can put it on the Coming Soon platform. Then once you put it on the Coming Soon platform, that goes out to the whole real estate world, to real estate agents, not necessarily to the public, but at least to other real estate agents. Then you can put a sign and you can put it on Facebook and all that stuff. But until you do that, then until you put it on the MLS and the private listing network, you can't publicize it anywhere. It's supposed to be, it's a private, as it's a private exclusive. Anyway, so I'm waiting for the pictures to come back, and the private exclusive, I've got it on private exclusive, and a Compass colleague saw it, and we got his buyer in there. We only had the one showing, and we negotiated the deal and put it together on Friday.
wow,
And
that's great.
I know, isn't that great? I
Great.
mean, well, we still have
Yeah.
an inspection and everything to get through, but
You're
yeah.
in private exclusive, uh, can't think of the word, like a, not devotee, but
Say it again. What?
I
What?
said like devotee, but that's not what I really meant. But
Well, there's definitely, I mean, there's definitely a cachet about being on private exclusives, because when the buyer was in the property almost an hour, and he's like, so if we come in with an offer and we negotiate a deal, are you not going to put it into the MLS then on next week? And I'm like, yeah. I said, if we come to terms, I won't. I mean, why would I?
yeah, right.
Why would I? But yeah, I mean, I think that there was definitely created that urgency for the buyer. The fact that we weren't
Mm,
on the MLS, definitely he saw as an advantage for himself.
mhm.
So it actually worked the way it's supposed to, right?
Right, exactly.
But
Yeah,
I was studying the comps over the weekend, you know, in the process of negotiating this deal, and I mean, there's nothing available. There's nothing available.
mm.
So, I mean, there's nothing active that I could look at as a comp that I felt was comparable to this property. And it was really difficult to even come up with what I felt were comparable units to compare it to.
So what is it?
It's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath condo on Edgewater in a vintage building. It doesn't, I mean, it was converted back in the 90s, but they didn't do central air. It has a that has a central boiler that heats the whole building, which you don't find too much of that actually in a newer, I mean, 90s, 1995 plus conversion. Usually they put in separate HVAC, right?
Mhm.
I mean, there's a fair amount of new construction around the area, but um, anyway, whatever. And now I'm doing another. I had a call that came in over the weekend. I'm doing another CMA now. I was working on it while I was waiting for you, and it's the same thing. I mean, there's nothing actively on the market. There's one property contingent and like 4 properties that have closed in the last 6 months, and nothing active. I'm like,
Yeah,
I know. So it's a really strange, and that's out in Harwood Heights. So I'm getting ready to list another property. I think we were supposed to come on mid-March, but he's kind of been ghosting me. I don't know. He must not be ready yet. He's kind of ghosting me, but
reached
I'm
out and then hid
sure.
from you?
What?
That he reached out and then hid from you?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I met with them back in, December or whatever, November, to talk about what they need to do to get the house ready to put on the market. And, we want to take advantage of spring market. They're moving to Florida.
That means they haven't done what you talked about, and then they're embarrassed to tell you that they haven't done anything.
Exactly.
That's usually what it is. Yeah.
Exactly. But I actually have a connection. This she's an organizer, but she also does staging, and she'll come and help. Which, with an estate sale, I think sometimes it's almost mandatory. That's how I met her. Actually, she was the organizer and stager for an estate sale that I listed, and I mean, it was great because, it's really hard to go through your parents' stuff. And I mean, your childhood home. I mean, you can't spend more than an hour or two, I think, at a time. Having done it a few times myself, I did it with my mom. I did it with my husband's mom, and we did it with my brother-in-law. Um, so I've been through it a couple times, and it's an emotional wear and tear. It's hard to do. So having an organizer to help you, and that's what she did. She went through the house. She had that house ready to come to market in 30 days, which for an estate sale is almost
Yeah,
unheard of, right?
that's a really great
Service. I
yeah.
mean, she's not cheap, but I mean, to take it, I mean, so worth it. So worth it. I mean, and then what she did is she kind of sorted everything into piles, like, okay, this is the stuff that the heirs might want to keep and go through and decide that they want. That was one pile. And the second pile was, this is the stuff that's going to Goodwill or Salvation Army, or, and she would arrange for the pickup to come, for Goodwill to come and pick it up. Um, then there was the stuff that could actually be sold, that was good enough that the family didn't want, but could be sold. And she actually handles that. She will handle that. And then there's the junk, and of course, the garbage, and then she has to arrange for a pickup service to come and haul it away. But yeah, I mean, it's a very worthwhile service. And then what she does is the stuff that they don't want, that they'd like to resell, she leaves it in the house and uses it as part of the staging. And she'll take other items that she has from other properties that she staged that she wasn't able to sell, and she'll bring those into the house. And so basically anything that's in the house, if the buyer wants to buy it, it's available for sale.
Hmm.
So I mean,
Contact.
huh?
But that's a great contact.
I know, right? Yeah, her name is Ashley Falaz, and her company is what's the name of her company? Uh, we should get her on sometime and talk to her, right? That would be good. That would be good to interview her sometime, wouldn't it? What do you think? Do you know anybody like that you'd like to to
No, I don't deal with a lot of that, but I know everybody's looking for that all the time.
the name of her company is called Second Chance Around, and that's actually her website, second spelled out secondchancearound.com. So yeah, she's a great contact, and she's a younger gal. She's probably in her 30s, and very, very energetic, and she just has a lot of get up and go. So anyway, she's a great contact.
Good. Yeah. Yeah, no, we get those emails all the time. People looking for help with, estate, well, all of that, staging estate sales, selling off stuff, organizers, all of that. And it sounds like she does a little bit of all of that. So
Yeah, I think she kind of got started as an organizer actually, and then developed it into a full-blown kind of staging service as well. So, but she does a great job, and she has contacts with contractors who will come in, and if you need some handyman kind of stuff, repairs or painting or whatever, she does all of that. So
yeah.
Yeah. You have your clients stage their properties, don't you?
I have my clients stage them. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's different on every single property. Yeah. Yeah, it's always different. Sometimes it's they're fine as is. Sometimes they just need a little bit. Sometimes they need a lot. Sometimes we need to use concierge and, get them out of there and redo the place. And, even if it's just, paint and carpet or whatever. But yeah, it seems to really run the gamut.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have, my stuff is more downtown and is more condo. So I think, I do a little bit of all of that, but more of it's downtown high-rise condo. So it just doesn't seem to happen as much as in single family homes or 2 or 3 flats and places where people have been for 30, 40 years, I don't have a lot of that. Mine have usually been there 3, 4, 5 years, maybe 7 or 8, probably 5 years is probably more average. But they're just not those kind of properties where there, is a lot of personal, property and furniture and stuff that's, they've accumulated over decades. But that happens a lot more, I think, in your market for sure.
Right. No, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, people, I even have clients that tell me when we close on their purchase, like, okay, we're here till they carry us out on a stretcher. And I think in some cases it's true. It seems like I talk to a lot of people that have been in their homes 30, 40 years, and I'm going out on an appointment, that the one I was trying to prepare for, but haven't gotten to yet because I'm having more difficulty. Like I said, I'm trying to do this CMA and I can't find anything on the market to put in the market analysis. So anyway.
Yeah, I've got a similar situation where I've got somebody doing an application for a bridge loan because they want to get out of the house before we list it. And they needed to, although we're probably months away from listing, they wanted, the application required like a lot of, a projected list price. Well, just a projected list price. And so they just wanted to see what I thought. I was like, of course, we'll have to reevaluate once we get there or whatever. But just to give them a number, I was like, well, there hasn't been anything similar sold since 2020. And really nothing on the market similar right now. It's a townhome, but in any case, it's like it's a lot harder to come up with that stuff than normal when not, it's been such a low inventory market, and the things that were sold in the middle of COVID. So it's kind of like, well,
Well, and the other thing about it is that because the way the market is, it's such a changing market, it's really difficult to really kind of nail that number down. I mean, because of the low inventory, you kind of want to put a bit of a premium on it because you don't have any competition. As a seller, you don't have any competition. But
right.
but you don't want to be crazy either, because then the buyers won't, they won't dig that either. I mean,
Yeah. I don't want to overpromise to the clients too, knowing that a few months from now, it could be a completely different situation. There could be, 3 or 4 competing properties that are in a different price range, so you just have to kind of wait and see. But
right.
yeah.
Are you using Round Point? Because I know that it's really, I've had some colleagues, not Compass colleagues actually, but other colleagues from other companies, because Compass offers that Round Point.
You mean Origin Point?
Huh?
Are you talking about Origin Point?
No, I'm talking about Round Point for the bridge loan.
No, they don't offer it, right? We haven't offered it since January.
They still do the bridge loans, but they still do them. No, what Round Point still does them. Round Point still.
We don't have the bridge point or the bridge loan service anymore, at least, and not until.
I just closed on one 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
I even had to run it up the ladder with Kathleen, and they went to New York and the whole thing. So I don't know which one. That's not the one they're using though, but they have one that they're using.
Who are they using?
It's Nack.
How and how? Okay, you mean it's just somebody they found on the internet or something?
Yeah. Yeah. But we were.
I'm gonna have to research that, because I just closed on one 2 weeks ago. We just closed on a bridge. What? Through Round Point.
The one we were using, they
had two, and they had two companies, and the one dropped out, but I thought Round Point was still doing them. But Notable was doing the thing where they would pick up your monthly payments for 6 months. And I know that stopped too. I know that's gone.
But well, actually, Nack is doing that. So the service they found is doing exactly that.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Knock, you're saying?
Yeah.
Good to know. All right. Well, if Round Point's not doing them anymore, I know that my clients weren't really very thrilled with Round Point. They really made it difficult, but they got it done, and I guess that's the important thing. I don't know. I'm not sure. It seemed to me like the hoops they made them jump through, they could have actually just gone out and gotten a refinance. It wouldn't have been any more complicated. I'm not sure what the advantage of doing this bridge loan was, but
yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, anyway, because they own their other property free and clear. So they had enough equity in their other property. They could have just refinanced. They didn't need to actually do the bridge loan. Usually in a bridge loan situation, they take over your existing mortgage on your existing property, and then give you the acquisition money to purchase the new property, and they roll it all into one mortgage. But my folks didn't actually. I mean, maybe that's why and maybe it wasn't technically a bridge loan. Maybe it was just a refinance, and that's how they got it done. I'm not sure. But anyway.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was just that Compass didn't have one that they were working with to do the program that we had been offering before. So.
Yeah, no, I know it changed after the first of the year. I'm not sure why, but that's too bad.
Well, I think it from my understanding, it had to do with us opening our own mortgage company.
Oh, I see, said the blind man. Okay, so we just ended up restaurant week last night. Last night was the end of restaurant week. Did you take advantage of it? You do any restaurant week stuff?
No.
I didn't either, but my son and his pals went to a couple of
There
different.
weren't any vegan ones, so
Oh, no. Yeah. Well,
there's
he and
no
his buddy.
reason for us to do it. All those prefix meals for, places where we can't eat it anyway. So
Yeah. In the past, we've always gone at least to one or two things, but this year I don't know. We didn't support Restaurant Week. We were bad citizens this year. What you ought to do is talk to some of your contacts in the vegan industry and get them to join Restaurant Week.
why do you think I have contacts in the vegan industry?
Because you know all these people. I know how you are. You go in
I
there.
don't know the vegan industry. All my contacts in the vegan industry.
All right. Well, anyway, so Restaurant Week is behind us. Now we can move forward.
I got to jump to my next one.
Okay. All right. Have a good week, everybody.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.